Hello everyone, Myron here. I've got a different kind of video planned for you all today. We will be ranking the songs in Season 1 of the Amazon Prime show, Hazbin Hotel. Originally a freelance animated pilot posted to the VivziePop YouTube channel on October 28, 2020, and funded entirely by the creator's Patreon followers, this show sees the Princess of Hell, Charlie Morningstar, set out to use her family-funded hotel to provide rehabilitation for sinner demons and help them ascend to heaven in an attempt to escape the annual purge of demons at the hands of angels led by Adam. The show's popularity allowed it to be picked up by an independent animation studio named A24, a close associate of Amazon, who animated episodes that took months to write. Then they shipped the episodes over to Bento Enterprises, a subsidiary of Fox, and the rest is history. Each of the 8 episodes has 2 songs, totaling 16 songs in Season 1, and most of them are bangers. Some are definitely better than others, but for an adult animated show designed to emulate a Broadway musical, the music was top-notch. So, without further ado, let's get started. This is the tier list we will be using for the ranking. I will include a link in the description so you can make your own. The first song we have is Happy Day in Hell. In the first episode, after another yearly extermination, Lucifer, the king of hell, asks his daughter Charlie to attend a meeting with Adam in his place. In her mind, if all goes well, she can form a working relationship with heaven to rehab sinners and end the exterminations once and for all. This song allows viewers to see what Charlie sees in hell, a once thriving kingdom that can be beautiful again once it gets through its growing pains. It being a spoof of most 80s, 90s, and 2000s Disney princess movie songs serves as a demonstration of Charlie's optimistic personality, but it's also the reason I personally could not find any attachment to the song. I haven't been the biggest Disney fan since I was a kid, and even now, the only Disney property I can say with confidence that I enjoy as a teen into adult is Dana Terrace's The Owl House. I was a tad annoyed with the melody, and unless you didn't watch the pilot that was posted on the VivziePop channel 4 years ago, you should already know this show was going to be a musical. But while I personally dislike this song, the good does seem to outweigh the bad, so I'm willing to put it in C tier. Next is Hell is Forever. As someone who's generally not a fan of musicals, Hazbin being one of the few exceptions, I was convinced that Hell is Forever would be my favorite song of Season 1. 7 episodes later, I think it's still top 5 worthy. This song gives viewers a first glance at the prejudice that angels have against demons, with Adam being portrayed as a misogynistic narcissist who sees himself as the perfect template for the male bloodline simply by virtue of being the first man born on Earth. He immediately shoots down Charlie's idea of a collaborative effort to rehabilitate sinners at her hotel, claiming they've already had their chance to be better people when they were alive. If a soul ends up in hell, that's that. Despite not having seen heaven yet, or any other angel for that matter, given the biblical inspiration behind this show's plot, it would be reasonable to assume that Adam isn't the only angel who feels the way he does, a hypothesis that would be more or less confirmed the deeper one gets into the season. Most viewers would expect an angel to be condescending about this issue, and while his subordinate Lut certainly was, Adam's chauvinism is displayed in a cartoony way that allows viewers to not only engage with the stunning visuals of the song within the episode, but develop a love-hate relationship with the character. With all of this in mind, the song is A tier. Now we lend our ears to Stayed Gone, another top 5 pick among many viewers, myself included. This duet between two powerful overlords, Alistair, the radio demon, and Vox, the TV demon, does a fantastic job exploring the rivalry between the two. Vox and Alistair were once friends, but when Vox asked Alistair to join the V's, the radio demon refused. This led to a physical altercation where Alistair barely survived, with him getting close to beating Vox, but still forced to flee and go into hiding for 7 years. His recent return threatens to undermine the control Vox currently has over the general public. The energetic instrumental in this song really demonstrates that Alistair seems to enjoy living in Vox's head rent-free. I like when serious villains have goofy moments like in this song. One critique I have is the fact that the song kinda loses steam when Vox gets so flustered he overloads, causing a 10-second power outage throughout the entire city. For this reason, the song will go into A tier. Next up is It Starts With Sorry. Not gonna lie, this song is mid. Yes, it reinforces Charlie's patient and caring demeanor, but in a way that makes the entire exchange come off as forced. Serpentius was just exposed for being sent by the V's to spy on Alistair and Charlie, and Vaggie, Charlie's girlfriend, and Angel Dust, a porn star in the hotel's first resident, consider killing him. only for Charlie to sing about why they should give him another chance, and him to sing about why he only did what he did to be respected and appreciated by his peers. Look me in the eye and tell me this, did they really have to write a whole song for such a minor inconvenience? Viv, you could have made this whole ordeal a simple conversation and nobody would have argued with you. But instead, we get a song that's not only outshined by previous and future songs, but on its own falls flat due to the questionable vocals for Sir Pentius's VA. No disrespect intended. Thankfully, I'm not the only one who feels this song is D tier. Now it's time for Respectless. The best way to describe this song is with a Reddit post by Steven from Latvia. It legit switches from tango to a fucking diss track in the middle of the song. And it fucking works. Being an African-American New Yorker from the 2000s, I take my diss tracks seriously, and Velvet spits some heat in this one. The bitch struts into this overlord meeting, throws the severed head of an angel onto the table, and immediately calls everyone out for not wanting to take the fight to heaven now that they know angels can be killed. This song not only has stellar visuals and a banger instrumental, but it also alludes to the fact that an overlord, Carmilla Carmen, managed to kill an angel, completely invalidating the next song. S tier for sure. Next up we have Whatever It Takes. This song reveals that Carmilla only killed the angel to protect her two daughters. Meanwhile, Vaggie feels like she let Charlie down for failing to help the Hazbin Hotel crew resolve their trust issues with one another. Unfortunately, this song quite literally serves no purpose other than to establish a connection between these two characters due to having similar goals. They both have people in their lives to protect, Carmen with her daughters, and Vaggie with Charlie. This was intentionally done to foreshadow their eventual mentor-student relationship. The problem is, doing that is much more effective than creating a song that only hints at it, and even then it's not immediately obvious until you get to episode 7, Hello Rosie. The vocals weren't the best either, especially on Carmilla's part, so I'm gonna have to put this song in D tier, but at the top. Time for Poison. I feel like this is going to upset some people, but in my opinion, this song is the epitome of overrated. The visuals were a bit too controversial for my liking, and while I understand it's meant to take a deep dive into the sexually abusive and depraved relationship between Angel Dust and his boss Valentino, the pimp overlord who owns his soul, I feel as if there is another song that does a better job of exploring that while giving viewers a sense of hope for Angel to fight through it. The song I'm referring to is Addict, a semi-canon music video written and composed by YouTuber Silva Hound on February 14, 2020. I say semi-canon because while it is, for most intents and purposes, a fan song, Viv actually reached out to Silva and asked for permission to direct and animate a music video for the song. The music video introduced a permanent redesign for Angel's best friend, Cherry Bomb, and it shows that Angel suffers from PTSD-esque flashbacks from working under Valentino. Despite his controlling relationship with Val, Angel is able to find some peace in the Hazbin Hotel, even if he doesn't take its mission of redeeming sinners seriously. Now an argument could be made that the visuals in Addict are even more graphic than Poison, but while I didn't care for the melody of either song, I am of the opinion that Poison doesn't tell us anything we couldn't figure out from Addict. Hell, it doesn't tell us anything we couldn't figure out from previous moments in this episode or previous episodes. But hey, maybe music videos just aren't my thing. I'll put it in C, only because there are worse songs. We're nearing the halfway mark with this next one, Loser's Baby. If somehow Poison was as underwhelming to you as it was to me, Loser's Baby should bring the episode to a satisfying end. Husk, the hotel's gambling-addicted bartender, reveals to Angel that he used to be an overlord, but he bet his soul against Alistair and lost. Husk and Angel find comfort in each other, knowing that they're each in a similar situation, with Husk trying to convince Angel that maybe, just maybe, if they keep their heads held high, things will get better for the both of them. This song marked the beginning of a genuine friendship between the two of them, and the instrumental and lyrics were really creative. Unfortunately, it's not as visually pleasant as a few other songs in this season, so I'll put it in B tier. Now we have Hell's Greatest Dad. Truly one of the most visually pleasing songs this season, Hell's Greatest Dad is a duet between Lucifer and Alistair, where the two of them compete for Charlie's affection after she called her father to set up a meeting with heaven, preferably someone higher in authority than Adam. I love the electro swing vibes throughout the song as the two Tumblr sexy men duke it out. Plus the song itself seems to suggest that Alistair's contributions to the hotel up until this point were not out of the goodness of his heart, but rather for his own selfish reasons. Reasons that extend far beyond curing his boredom. Alistair is secretly threatened by Lucifer, and this song perfectly demonstrates that. The only bad thing about it was the interruption towards the end by Mimsy, a friend of Alistair's. Loser Baby had a similar problem, but at least the album version gave that song a proper ending. I can't say the same for this song. As a result, the most I can give Hell's Greatest Dad is the A tier. Time for a tearjerker, more than anything. This song reveals that for one reason or another, Lilith, Charlie's mother and estranged wife of Lucifer, went out of her way to separate Charlie from her father when they were living in the same household, leading to him and his daughter having a strained relationship, especially after she disappeared for 7 years. It seems like Lilith raised her to have her passion for and commitment to the well-being of the kingdom of hell and its people, something that fell on deaf ears for Lucifer following his banishment from heaven. Lucifer spent most of the episode either avoiding talking about the idea of rehabilitating sinners, or shooting down the idea completely due to his own pessimism. Within this song, both of them do their best to momentarily put this issue aside to rekindle the father-daughter relationship they should have had. Charlie just wanted his support, even if he himself didn't think redemption was possible, and after some convincing, he was happy to oblige for his daughter's sake. I like songs that add interesting context to the story, and the visuals are breaking. That being said, as someone who was fortunate enough to have their father in their life every day since they were born, the lyrics didn't hit as hard for me as they would for those whose fathers are no longer with them. Since I can't decide between A or B tier, I'll put it at the top of B. Let's move on now to Welcome to Heaven. The A plot of the episode of the same name has Charlie and Vaggie going to heaven, thanks to Lucifer, to speak with someone higher in authority than Adam. We'll get into the B plot later. Gatekeeper St. Peter and the High Seraphim Sarah and Emily welcome them to heaven with an honestly generic high school musical song about how heaven is supposedly so much better than hell. If you couldn't tell, I'm probably going to end up talking more about the episode itself rather than either song, because both of them are some of the weakest songs in Season 1. At least Welcome to Heaven, or rather, the principle of a song about heaven, has the excuse of needing to exist because of the very biblical nature of this show. That's not good enough to escape D tier, but I'd listen to it over It Starts With Sorry. Now we have what I believe to be the weakest song of Season 1, You Didn't Know. Why was this song made? The B plot of the episode revolves around Cherry Bomb taking Angel and the hotel employees out for a night on the town at a local club, only for the maid, Nifty, spelled with 2 F's but Plotagon wants to be stupid, to get drunk to the point where Angel has to protect her from Valentino, who happened to already be there. The Court of Angels sees this, and we get a three-way argument between Charlie and Emily, Sarah, and Adam and Lute about Angel's progress, with Adam revealing both the yearly exterminations to the courtroom, and the fact that Vaggie used to be an exorcist before having her wings ripped off and her eye gouged out by Lute, Adam's second in command, and being banished to hell for sparing a demon child. The song constantly shifts in both tempo and instrumentation to match the characters' emotions, which some may find clever, but I find it too chaotic to sit through casually. This song is so impractical to sit through in isolation. You need to be watching the episode for this song to not sound like a bunch of dialogue that could have easily been written without the inclusion of a melody. If I'm ever listening to the song, I'm skipping straight to Adam and Lute's part and vibing to that for like 2 minutes. This song is D tier, at the bottom. Now we have an absolute banger, Out for Love. Charlie and Vaggie temporarily go their separate ways after the former learns about the latter's secret past as an exorcist. Vaggie seeks out Carmilla Carmen to learn how to defend the hotel against Adam and his angels, knowing that she was able to kill an angel last year. After some convincing, the two engage in a dance-fighting sequence in which Carmen reminds Vaggie through song that instead of fighting for revenge upon Adam, she needs to be fighting to protect Charlie. Just like how Carmen was willing to die to protect her daughters. If Vaggie didn't have that realization, she likely wouldn't have spared Lute in the finale. Not only is this a song I can vibe to both in isolation and within the show, but it advances the story in a tremendous way, while opening the door for potential partnerships between other overlords in the future. I'll put this one in S tier. Next up we have, Ready for This. Much like Happy Day in Hell, this song was used as promotional material before the episode was released. Reason being is because it's designed to hype viewers up for Charlie's last stand against heaven. She tried to be civil about her redemption idea, but with Adam choosing to target the hotel first at the next extermination, she realized that her actions would have to speak louder than her words. While Vaggie went off to train and gather supplies, Charlie, with Alistair's help by way of a demon deal, rallied the people of Cannibal Town to fight for their souls after speaking with their mayor, Rosie. Everyone's vocals were amazing, and I like the addition of Rosie and Alistair, which seems to suggest he plans to mold her for his best interests later down the line, and Rosie seems on board with whatever he's planning. While this song does a good job hyping viewers up for the finale, I feel like it loses a bit of its magic when listening to it on something like Spotify. Still solid though, so I'll put it in B. Time for the penultimate song, More Than Anything, Reprise. Now, I absolutely adore Charlie and Vaggie as a couple, and the kiss they have at the end is beautiful. But aside from that, this song does nothing but reinforce my personal disinterest in musicals. For the sake of being pedantic, the reason this song is so short is because reprises are meant to use a similar, if not the same melody of the song as reprising in some modified lyrics to show how the characters have evolved throughout the course of the story. In this case, Charlie, after a couple of failed attempts to reason with heaven, accepts that she and her friends will have to fight for their souls for the first time in presumably thousands of years, but she expresses her fear of losing everyone she cares about to Vaggie. Vaggie tells her that even if none of them get into heaven, she made them all better people, Vaggie herself included, and she loves Charlie for that. Like with It Starts With Sorry and You Didn't Know, I feel like this moment could have been just as, if not more impactful, if it was condensed to a simple exchange rather than a song. Especially one that reuses a melody from a song that was used to mend a father-daughter relationship and turns it into a generic love song. If a musical is not a love story, then it doesn't have time for songs like this. I'll say this though, for those who think we didn't get enough of these two acting like a couple, I see where you're coming from, and I hope this song serves as another, couples moment, for you. I would just ask you to keep in mind that Charlie and Vaggie have been dating for 3 years. The honeymoon phase is over, and the couple moments we did see were subtle enough to where we could tell they were happy together. They didn't have to be, in your face, about it, and I think that characterization made the kiss at the end of the song feel more special to most viewers. I can probably talk about this in another video, but for now, More Than Anything Reprise is C tier, fundamentally flawed in the context of a musical, but good fan service if you're a romance expert or simply a well-mannered shaggy shipper. And last but not least, we have, Finale. Yes, that's the actual name of the last song of Season 1. The hotel crew emerge victorious from the battle after the death of Adam, but Serpentius sacrificed himself to give his friends a fighting chance after Adam severely injured Alistair to the point of retreat, and the hotel was destroyed. Charlie begins to blame herself for all of this, but Lucifer tells her that she's the first person to make change in hell in the last 10,000 years, and everyone decides to pitch in to recuperate and rebuild. Meanwhile, the V's, who were spying on the battle, saw Alistair flee, and they celebrate, believing that with him gone, they can take advantage of the power vacuum that he left behind and take over hell. Little did they know Alistair survived Adam's assault, and it's implied that he used the power of the many souls he owns to heal himself within the rubble of the old hotel, while having a mental breakdown about looking for a way out of the deal he made with an unknown entity, something Husk hinted at in episode 5. The V's part may have been a fan favorite for others, but for me, it kind of feels underwhelming. I know I said earlier that I like when serious villains have goofy moments, but unlike Stayed Gone, their part was sandwiched between an obligatory exposition with an admittedly cleverly timed reprise of Happy Day in Hell, and a chilling panic attack. I feel like at least one part of this song has to go in order for it to be perfect, I just can't decide which one. For the sake of this video, I'll put it in B. And there you have it, my final ranking of every song of Season 1 of Hazbin Hotel. Overall, I loved this show's soundtrack, and I'm sure we'll get more replayable songs in Season 2. Out for Love is my favorite song, with Respectless a close second, followed by Stayed Gone. You Didn't Know is my least favorite song, and the only one I truly dislike with any sort of passion. Obviously a topic like this is highly subjective, so I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel for more content. Thank you for watching, and like always, stay sharp comrades.